Hello everyone, welcome to Smith's Garage. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I fully repaired and restored the floor pans and chassis to my Volkswagen Beetle. Now this is like take 5 or 6 of recording because I'm apparently really bad at talking in front of a camera. And this video is going to be a little bit different than my other ones. I know I only made 2, but I usually just ramble on and on in front of the camera about whatever subject I picked for the video. And this time I scripted it like a tiny bit. Well, I didn't script it, but I looked up how to make a video a little better. And what I learned is that you need a hook to entice the audience. So my hook for this video, which will probably also be the title, is that if you ever want to work on a 40, 60-year-old car, you're gonna need to know how to repair your floor pans, because unless you live in a state or country or wherever that has like perfect dry weather for your vehicle, it's gonna get rusty. I live in BC, and BC is notorious for having salty, wet roads and rusty cars. Everything rusts. Like, I have a year-old truck, brand new, outside, and it's rusty underneath already, probably. But I just try not to think about it. But anyways, this car, when I got it, was like a Flintstones car. The floor pans had holes in them so big, you could probably push it from the inside. So I had to learn very quick how to do rust repair, and it was a good start when you're working on a fresh project. If you start with the chassis with the rust repair, it teaches you how to do it. So then when you get to the body of the car, you have a much better understanding of what you're doing. So if you're working on something, that would be the order I would try to do it. Anyways, I would show you what the floor pans to this car look like right now, except you can't really see them under the carpet very well. And gonna be honest, I don't feel like taking this car cover off again because it's a pain in the ass. But the reason why it's covered inside of this garage is because I'm working on a new project, which I've stated in a couple videos now. I keep thinking I'm gonna make a video about it soon, but then I keep realizing I don't have enough content for that yet. So I will, you know what? The next video will be about the new project. I know that people probably only care about this Beetle right now anyways. But I only have pictures and videos about what I did to this car, so I'll go inside and I will record the rest of this video and show you how to work on the floor pans of your car. Okay, so now you're joining me upstairs again, looking at some pictures. And like I said last time, I'm not very good at video editing, so I'm just gonna pull up some pictures, point at them with my mouse, and talk about what I did. This is what the car looked like when I got it, but the frame was pretty much mangled on the inside, and somebody robbed all the bolts out of it, so the body was like barely held on to the frame anyways. And oh, there's a picture, young me. Okay, here we go. So this is the floor pan and chassis of my car. Small hole right here, and the rest of it was all too far gone to really like use, but this middle column or tunnel, I guess you could call it, that was actually in really good condition, which is why we chose to keep the car, because it just had a good like middle frame. So we very quickly started to cut all of it out, and I literally just like grabbed a Sawzall and started hacking out the entirety of the floor pans. So I started right from that main support at the back and just kind of followed along the edge of the tunnel here, and yeah, there you go. I think in this part I just cut around the pedals because I was procrastinating on trying to get the pedals out, but I took that part out later. Um, so yeah, once those were both out, I was left with this like monstrosity of a mess on the floor. There's so much dirt, grime, rust on the ground that it looked like that. But once they were cut out, the next thing I did was I took an air chisel, and because they were spot welded down onto this flange, and I used an air chisel to pull up the top layer of metal so that I had a good layer to weld onto. This is not something you have to do, but I just wanted to do it to clean it up a little more, and I don't know, it just seemed like the right thing to do, and I had the tools to do it. It was kind of painful, as you can see, but it worked out. And then once I got those all taken off, I had these awesome floor pans here from we ordered them from California Imports. Great company for if you're ordering parts for Beetles. And they sent us, it's like the entire side floor pan. And we didn't realize they would also come with the little supports at the back. I believe we didn't want to use them, so we actually cut the pieces to fit what we had left on the car. Just because they send you the entire piece doesn't mean you have to use the entire thing. So we just cut what we wanted to use off of those. And yeah. Once you strip everything off of that frame, including the floor pans, you're left with this like skeletal looking thing. And we took the front beam off. I have another video explaining what I did to remake the front beam, so if you want to check it out, just look at my last video. Transmission, we took it out too. At the time, we were planning on using the same transmission again, but we did not end up using it, which I'll explain later. And then we loaded it up and plugged all of the holes. Make sure you plug all of the holes before you send something to get sandblasted, because I actually still have this issue where sand got into where the throttle cable goes, and because of that, my gas pedal feels almost a bit gritty when I go to use it. I tried so hard to flush all of it out, but it's impossible to deal with. But once it came back, this is what it looked like. It was super nice. It came out super great. And you gotta be careful when you get things back like this, because they will start to rust again very quickly. And so this picture, this is funny. So we took these big C-clamp vice grips and we cut the normal bits off of them, and we welded on these tubes with feet at the end. And I know this looks like a monstrosity to anybody who knows what vice grips are, but you'll see exactly why we did this right here. Because when now that the frame was sandblasted, we went on to welding on the floor pans, right? Except we were welding on the floor pans, you have to make sure that everything's secured well. Oh, so wait, we did cut the supports off on the back. I forgot about that. But in order to secure them, we had to use these freaky long vice grips. And so we were just doing like little segments of welds and then inching those vice grips down, making sure everything fit, and then just working our way down using these vice grips. And yeah, it was actually a pretty fun overall experience. This was one of my first few times welding, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. And these vice grips, you could probably get away without using them, but you really have to ensure that these bolts along the sides of the floor pans will bolt up to the body of the Beetle and like match up. Obviously you can drill it out to make sure it matches up, but we just wanted to play it safe and try to get it as right as possible from the beginning. So yeah, anyways, that was me welding those on. And then after we got them welded on, it looked like this, pretty usual. We took some caulking and we ran it down along the line of welds, just to clean it up so then it looked nicer and there'd be no like leakage or anything. We used the wrong type of caulking that goes with paint. So when we painted over it, the paint never actually, I don't know if it never dried, but it just stayed kind of tacky the whole time, which is fine because I was putting carpet over it anyways and we wanted the carpet to stick. But yeah, so just watch what type of sealant you use. After we painted it, we were left with this so that was primer. This is after we put like a marine enamel style paint on it. It was super shiny, amazing looking, literally looked like it rolled off the showroom floor. some people would tell you not to do this, but I also did a like undercoating on the bottom of it. People say it traps moisture to the bottom of the car. Other people think it's just there's no point, but again, I live in BC. There's rocks, salt, everything on the road, and it just seemed like a no-brainer idea to me. So I put an undercoating on the bottom of this, which made it look matte on the bottom. It also reduced the road noise a little, which was nice. Here's the frame. It's a little dirty in this shot, but here's the frame with the old wheels on it again. Transmission in the back with the wheels on it. That is a Rancho transmission, which I will get into later on, but it's original style to the Beetle, 4 gears. The gears are a little altered, and again, I'll tell you about the rest of more about that later. Here's another shot of that frame. It was very exciting once we had this together because it was the first time with the wheels back on it again. And I hated that short shifter that I had on this. I ended up changing it real fast. But thank you for watching this video. I enjoyed making it. And again, I said that I have another video explaining how I did the front beam, and I have another video introducing my car. I hope to make many more videos. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing. I'll see you in another video.